First of all, me thinking that I could be 22 years old is the equivalent to me thinking that my YouTube channel is like, oh, I don't know, like FedEx. Wait a second. Yep. And FedEx is telling me, don't fucking compare yourself to me. I went and auditioned to be on The Real World last week. Now, the first time I applied to be on Real World was literally 6 years ago, and I have not done it since. So I got a message from the production company that basically was like, hey, your profile matches like what we're looking for Real World 33. Fill it out and send it back. I need to appear to be between 18 and 24. So when I was 26, like, I totally could have passed for 24. Now that I'm 32, I mean, I don't fucking know. A lot has changed over 6 years, but the questions were super deep to where, like, one, I wasn't gonna take the time to write out answers. I just wasn't. The odds of them selecting you are like slim to none. I get a message back saying, hey, we wanna meet you in person. I say, swell, to the point where it was like, okay, schedule the time that you wanna come in to meet these casting producers, gave their names and everything. I was like, is this real life right now? I'll give you a sample of the questions. What obstacles have you overcome? Oh boy, describe a quality or trait that runs in your family. We are charmers. Like, are you for immigration? Are you for voting? Are you for LGBTQ rights? Are you for bullying? Is that even a... Why do you want to be on The Real World? Who doesn't? The friendships, the drama, the iconic show. It's been for decades, plus 22-year-olds on the show. So, you know, who doesn't want to be on that? I now book my in-person interview in New York City, and the place that they were doing the casting was literally 2 blocks from my job. So this was like not an inconvenience for me whatsoever. By the way, let me tell you, they make you print out your application before you get there, which, let's burn some trees, because it doesn't make any sense. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people here. And I'm here like, wait a second, my appointment, I have a 3 o'clock appointment. There were people there who, first of all, drove over 6-7 hours just to be at this casting call. There were people who had been there from 5 o'clock in the morning. There were people over flooding rooms into rooms into rooms. Whoever was running this casting call was not doing their job correctly. People were so thirsty to be on TV that that's what they were doing to do so. You realize really quickly that, like, the emails you were getting and them bringing you in, you're not special. You realize that real fast. I'm literally listening to who I can only perceive to be interns say how they only printed out like 800 pages of like sign-in sheets or something. Anyway, so I learned real quick that, like, this is not going to work out. It is impossible. There is no way that you could have these 10 intern bitches fucking go through and legitimately find people to have on TV. There's just no way. Not with the amount of people that were there. And I mean that there was no way that I was going to be making it through. Meanwhile, on top of shit, I'm 32. 32! Basically, they cow-cattled you into all these different rooms. They were completely unorganized. Cops were being called. Everything was like a fire hazard. Then you could tell they were getting sloppy at the end because they were asked to shut it down. They didn't want to shut it down. They made it seem that, like, we should be so happy that they persuaded the cops to not shut down the fire hazard. But by that point, they were already sloppy. You could tell that they, like, didn't want to interview people anymore, that somebody fucked up where they had way too many people at this place. It turned, you could see them interviewing like 1 person at a time, to now they were doing 2 at a time, to then 3 at a time. It was, if that's how they all are, this can't be how they all are. Somebody had to have made a big oopsie. Just watching people, okay, let me just tell you, you put up like 1,000 type A personalities into a room and then you tell them that you're gonna shut down the casting, you get a lot of pissed off people, okay? Oh my God. I will never ever redo that. That's a lie. I would totally redo it, but I would come prepared, like with water and food. I would definitely empty my bladder, bring like business cards and resumes so you can pass those out. Maybe like your dating profile, drugs if you want to sell them, that's a great spot. Alcohol if you want to like start passing out nips and selling them. I tell you right now, if you had somebody next to me who was passing out nips of like liquor, I would have been paying them to drink right there while I was just chilling. I'm next. Oh, but I'm not next by myself. I'm next with 2 other people, and I'm like, it's me and this guy and this other girl. I'm going to ask you a question, and you give your best answer. They asked me what I did for a living. Then they asked the guy next to me the same thing, the girl next to him the same thing. She was a bottle girl, and she said she was making like $20,000 in tips. If that's the case, then time is money and you should not be here. But don't worry, she made sure to throw in that she had really, really good stories. The guy with us, he did things with tomato paste. I liked him though. Oh, and I'm 32. Like I said, I'm 32. And he looked at his paper, he's like, you're right. That's old. I was like, I know. So I'm literally sitting there wondering why I'm even here. What the fuck was the criteria for passing through the algorithm? I don't know, because I was 32 on the application, so I don't get it. Maybe they have to let you through to not be ageist. If you want to get some fucked up people, all you gotta do is take the digital applications and type in any keyword that you find, like Republican, white. Let's go down south. Boom, there we go. We got your typical fuckboy white male who's a little bit racist, but you know, we're hoping he bridges the gap and has a personality change somewhere during the season. They weren't even real interviews. I want to work there and fix it. This whole little like face-to-face, me and two other people with this one goofy ass looking dude, lasted all of 35 seconds. And then that was it. And then another 3 went up. That was it. And now I'm telling you right now, I will be utterly shocked if I at all get a call back. There's no way. A lot of people were disappointed. I was only disappointed because it was poorly run. I don't think you got a good sampling of what was in that room, because I spent 2 hours with some people and I learned some interesting things. Maybe in the beginning of the day, maybe if they met people in the beginning of the day and they were fresh and they were one-on-one and they could like ask you more than one question, totally. But it was very apparent that they were completely disorganized. I was like sensory overload with the amount of people I was like listening to and seeing. It was awesome. It was like speed dating, but like on crack, without pressure. Like you were all there because you're narcissists. It's just pretty, it was like cool being like with a bunch of fucking strangers picked to audition in a building and not have their lives taped because they weren't good enough. Overall, this was not the life for me. I'm excited to see who they do pick for Real World 33 though. If they filmed March to May and then you take a boatload of time to edit, so this is probably not gonna come out till like 2020. Could you imagine? By that point, I'm literally gonna be like 35. That's obscene. No, thank you, no new friends. We're done!